Have you ever wondered how a hacker can access information from a website simply by entering something into a login box or a search field? One of the most common techniques behind these attacks is called SQL Injection, or SQLi. In this video, we'll understand what SQL Injection is, why it is dangerous, and most importantly, how you can protect your website and database from it. What is SQL Injection? To understand SQL Injection, first, let's understand SQL. SQL, or Structured Query Language, is used by websites to communicate with databases. For example, when you log into a website, your username and password may be checked against information stored in a database. The problem occurs when a website takes user input and directly combines it with an SQL query without properly validating or separating that input. An attacker can manipulate the input so that the database interprets it as part of the SQL command rather than ordinary data. In simple terms, instead of the website asking the database, "Is this the correct username and password?" an attacker tries to change what the database is being asked to do. Why is it dangerous? SQL injection can have serious consequences. Depending on the vulnerability and the database permissions, an attacker may be able to access sensitive information, bypass authentication, modify records, or even delete data. Imagine an online store where customer names, addresses, and order information are stored in a database. If the application is vulnerable, an attacker could potentially manipulate database queries and gain access to information they were never supposed to see. That's why SQL injection is not just a programming mistake. It can become a major security and privacy problem for an entire website. So, how can you protect your website? First, use parameterized queries or prepared statements. This is one of the most important defenses against SQL injection. Instead of building SQL queries by directly inserting user input, prepared statements keep the SQL instructions separate from the data. Most modern programming languages and database libraries support this approach. Second, validate user input. Your application should check whether incoming data matches what is expected. For example, if a field should contain a number, don't automatically accept arbitrary text. Input validation should be treated as an additional security layer, not your only defense. Third, use least privileged database accounts. Your website should connect to the database using an account with only the permissions it actually needs. For example, if an application only needs to read and update certain records, it shouldn't have unnecessary permissions to drop tables or modify unrelated data. Fourth, keep your software and database libraries updated. Security vulnerabilities can exist in frameworks, libraries, and database drivers. Regular updates help reduce the risk of attackers exploiting known weaknesses. And finally, test your application regularly. Security testing, code reviews, vulnerability scanning, and penetration testing can help identify SQL injection vulnerabilities before attackers do. SQL injection is one of the most well-known web application security risks, but it is also highly preventable. Remember, never trust user input by default. A small security mistake in a database query can expose an entire application, but with secure development practices, you can significantly reduce that risk. Thanks for watching, and stay secure.